All right. How about it?
You talk about toughness all the time and grinding out wins and finding a way to get stops and make every possession count. So how tonight, considering the circumstances, how big of a win is it? I know it's regular
huge.
season.
These guys were great. We were awful early and too sped up and maybe too excited and didn't play well. And then Mari and BT kind of kept us in it early, and then things kind of leveled out, and it was a pretty even game for the last 30 minutes, and five at halftime or three, and then didn't play well at all start second half, and it went to 11, and then we just kept grinding, and the crowd was unbelievable. The crowd wouldn't let us get tired, and it was a fabulous night. We played a really good team, and we didn't play great, but they didn't play great either. And so that's kind of what you're talking about, I think.
And did the flu hit Darren Layton? How is he, and when did you know he wasn't going to?
Well, we don't know if it's the flu. It's flu-like symptoms. At least that's what I've been told. So he didn't practice yesterday, but we were hoping he could play today. And he came out for shoot around and wasn't able to go. So, but we didn't know until probably 7:30 that he probably wasn't going to be able to go. But we knew it was 50-50 yesterday that he may not be able to play.
Bill, when you know you're going to be shorthanded against the #1 team in the country, how did you get these guys ready to play in a matchup like this?
Well, it was that 5-minute pregame talk that just did the deal. I think the guys were ready to play regardless. You know, the one thing about Darren that's been positive is we have played without him, and we've actually been more aggressive individually a lot of times when he was not in the game. Now, we're not as good, but we're more aggressive individually, and I didn't think we were to start the game, but down the stretch, I mean, Melvin getting 25 shots, even though, you didn't make them, but getting downhill like that, and Flory's aggressiveness, and Bryson, that was I don't know that we would have played that aggressively if he'd been in the game, because he's getting a lot of those touches and a lot of those shots, but I didn't have to do much to get them ready. They did that all on their own.
You said after Saturday that this was grown men you were about to play.
They are grown men.
Sure, of course. Yeah. How did you feel Flory took that?
I thought Flory did well, but their big guy is good. I mean, he's good, and we knew he was good, but I didn't know he's that good over both shoulders and this and that. He's really good, and Cole is terrific, and you bring in a guy that could have played yesterday in Santa Clara off the bench, as a defensive end. But we got dominated the first half inside, but the second half we didn't. It was a much closer game the second half in the paint.
Does that rank up there, Flory's individual effort, just from a pure physicality, toughness, just will yourself to make it happen?
I think, I think it ranks up there. He's gotten so much better. Offensively, he's gotten better, but just the defensive presence and, whether it played a role or not, and he didn't get as many block shots as what he has some other games, but they knew he was around, and that makes a big difference.
Coach Self, what did this win mean for the team to get it done without Darren, and for you, what did it mean? We saw an emotional outburst at the end.
Well, I'd never do that. I'm never like that, but I thought I was just playing to the crowd, but the crowd stuck around. I don't why they stick around. I don't know, but they stuck around, and but I was excited. I can't believe we'd never played #1 in this building, because I thought we were 1 and OU was also 1. When we played, but maybe that was just in the AP. I don't know, but that was a great team we played tonight, and we had some things go right down the stretch that gave us the best chance to win. But I think I was probably a little bit more emotional because we're better than what we played when we get all our pieces, and to me that's exciting. Now, whether or not that happens or not, I don't know, but. I've said this all along. A lot of teams this time of year, when you get to early February, they know where their ceiling is, and the great teams are operating pretty close to their ceiling. I don't know where our ceiling is, and I know that we're not close to it yet, though. So I think that we got another big step that we can take, and it's exciting to know that I believe our best ball can still be well ahead of us.
Bill, there are a lot of loud buildings in college basketball. What it is about this place that just rattles teams when they come here?
I don't know that they were rattled, but you know, we've the first half against BYU, I think, was the best I've ever heard this building in a first half. But it wasn't any good the second half because we didn't do anything to play well to keep people excited. I think today was and maybe it's because Darren didn't play. They would have been excited regardless, but they took ownership of making sure we didn't get tired. I mean, it's hard to get tired whenever, you know, Melvin playing 40 and everything else. It's hard to get tired when that crowd's like that, and so. There's a lot of great crowds out there, and everybody would think I'm biased by saying that we're the best, because I shouldn't say that, because I don't know exactly what everybody else has. But I can guarantee you there's no place better than this place, so nobody can say they got a better joint than this one.
Bill, obviously every play matters in that game. Is there any moment that you're just enjoying that moment, the energy of it?
No. I thought we really guarded about the last 8 minutes. I thought we really guarded. Burry's obviously made a big three when we were up 4, and we jack around and don't get the ball in bounds. I mean, wrong guy took it out. Only one guy can take it out, and Bryson makes a mental mistake, and he takes it out, and we're screwed after that. I don't know that there was any one play. But that last block that Flory had, I think, was probably as big a play as we've had.
That was the second thing I wanted to ask you about that block. In relation to the first half, it seemed like Arizona was going at him in the first half, put in the paint. Obviously, he's given up some size there, but just his adjustment in the second half to make that less effective.
We trapped the post a little bit the second half, although we were supposed to do it the whole half, but they didn't throw it in as much in the second half. I thought we did a better job of guarding their big guys with perimeter defenders than we did the first half. There were too many gaps to throw it to the post directly, and you know, they took advantage of us. And to be honest with you, I really didn't have an answer on how to stop that, because it would just look like to me it was men out there playing, and we weren't able to match them physically. But the second half we did.
It looks like maybe a different Jamari than what we've seen in the early stages of the game. What did you think of his performance at the beginning?
I thought he was great. You know, he and Bryson kept us in at the first half. If it weren't for those two guys, we would have been behind and probably put ourselves in a position that may have been too much to come back.
And then Melvin said that he was thinking about the UConn game late and maybe feeling that he had let the team down by not scoring enough late in that one. Have you talked to him about that?
No.
Okay.
You know what? It's unbelievable what these guys tell you guys, because I guarantee that just came in his head. He hadn't thought about that. But the one thing about it, there were some similarities to the UConn game. No DP, you know, having to bow your neck and play and make some plays late. But he played pretty good. I mean, I don't see how he's got the energy to do much right now, because he had to be on the ball the whole time for us.
Bill, you've kind of alluded to this a little bit, but just how much do you think it does mean to the team and even to you to know that the ceiling can be to beat the #1 team in the country when DP can't go? I mean, what will that do for you guys?
I think it'll give us confidence, but I don't think the confidence has really been a big issue with us, Vahes, in the last 3 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. But I think it gives a confidence. Also, the way it went down was grimy. The way it went down, we didn't score, but we can't allow anybody else to score, and that's how we won the game late, and that's how you win. You know, the key of winning games isn't always playing better than your opponent. It's making sure your opponent doesn't play as good as you, and we were able to do that the second half.
You talked about the emotion on the court, but this, in some ways, has to be one of the more satisfying regular season
you've
ever had.
You know, hopefully we're going to play bigger games than this, or to be a disappointment. But I can't remember. You know, 1 day prep. Of course, they had the same thing. You know, 30-minute practice, winning the last 2 big Mondays the way that we've won them, Texas Tech and this one.
Coach, I believe it's now 15-0 in top 10 games in Allen Fieldhouse when you guys are ranked as the lower team. And a tweet just came in that this is the first program ever to win 10 straight home games against teams ranked in the AP top 3. What's just your reaction to that?
Schedule's too hard. So.
Bill, being able to kind of tinker, at this time of year and still knowing that, like, it's not all there yet, how much are you enjoying? I mean, I don't know that I've seen you kind of get after it celebration-wise.
Yeah, I probably haven't done that, but I'm enjoying our guys. Flory's been great, and Trey didn't have a good game today, but he's been great, and all the guys have been great. But Melvin Council, how can you have a bad day when you're around him? I mean, to me, he's put his handprint on this place as much as anybody possibly could in the short amount of time he's been here. I mean, he owns this place. He's as popular as any kid that we've ever had play here. You guys follow it. He is. I think the pleasant surprise of who he is has really made this enjoyable for everybody.
Flory said he was surprised you were handing out hugs after the game. He said he had 3 now.
That I've had 3 hugs, or he's had 3?
You've hugged him 3 times.
Well, he deserved more, but I'm not. I don't think I'm usually the most overly emotional guy, but that was a big win for us today. I watched how Carolina celebrated when they beat Duke. That was huge. I mean, it was a great win. And even though we won't do that, we won't storm, that stuff. But to me, that was, in my world, that was the equivalent of that that we watched the other night.
Bill, you mentioned it being unclear if Darren would be able to go. Was there a reason he wasn't on the availability report today ahead of game time?
Yeah, because we thought he'd go. Yeah, we thought he'd go. So I thought adrenaline would kick in, and he would go. So, and he was at shoot around today. I mean, he was out there, but just what you could just tell he didn't feel great. But we were all hopeful that he'd kick in and be ready to go. So you sound like you bet on the game. But no, there was no ploy with that at all.
Is it full circle that your team is the first one to win over a number 1 team in the Fieldhouse? Is that a huge moment for you and the school?
Well, no, it's a big deal for the moment, but it's not a big deal in the overall scheme of guys. We're going to play in bigger games than this, just like Arizona's going to play in bigger games than this. So, but it was probably as big a game that college basketball has had. And I could be wrong. I would say to date. Would you agree with that, Myron? To date, probably be so. Obviously, it felt a little different.
When you get the word that Darren's not playing, do you go up to Jamari and instruct him more? Or?
No, I didn't. Guys, I walked into the locker room and went and addressed the team, and just found out when I came downstairs that he wasn't playing. So I mean, I went in the training room. He's in there trying, and I said, "Can you?" And he said, "Coach, I don't think I can." So and to be honest with you, I would probably rather him not play if he couldn't contribute, just because we'd spend 20 minutes trying to get him shots or whatever, and he can't. If he doesn't feel it, then I would much rather do it the way that it happened. So he tried, but he just couldn't get there.